All right, so I am going to show you how I make my flowers for my pieces. This is actually one of them right here. It's a rose, and it's really very simple to make. And the reason I'm showing you is because I have painfully found out on my own how to make different kinds of flowers. And so the rose is probably one of the most used. That and daisies. And I do like my odd carnation, like sort of that right there. It's a carnation. I'm putting them all on this piece down here. I'll just move that out of the way. There we go. Yeah. So this is the piece that I'm working on. It's going to actually, I don't think I need to have it on. Just there we go. Okay. There. Now you can see what's doing. So I take, yeah, I took that off without even saying anything. I just 1-inch ball maybe, depending on what size flower you want. And I just squeeze it out. I've got one of those roller things, you know, the pasta makers. And to tell you the truth, I like the effect that I get from doing this with my hands rather than the pasta maker. And I also found that the pasta maker is constantly coming off the table, and it really ticked me off. It's just like, I can't do this anymore. Anyway, I just squeeze it until it's very, very, very thin. Not too thin. That's too thin. That right there. So just kind of, when it kind of starts to, if it's too thin, it starts to tear, right? So I just fold it over and make sure that I just fill that in, keep it thin. So that's, again, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of fold this over in half, just kind of the way it falls. And you see how it kind of curved around like that? And now I am going to fold the outside edges up like that. Just so that there's the ridge in the middle. It's going to be a very short live tonight. I gotta go to bed and I gotta be. All right. So then what I do is I go from the smallest end to the larger end, and I just very lightly roll it. I hope you can see it. I roll it like that. Just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. There you go. And so what I do is I just sort of mold down the side of it there so it blends in. And then I take the outside edge and I just fold it back with my thumb. You do a lot with just your hands. You don't need all the fancy tools that they're trying to sell you. And you just spread it out. And yeah, you know what? Sometimes you get a fingerprint on it, but that's okay. I think it kind of adds to the organic feeling of it. That's what I'm going for. There we go. See, just like that. I just use my nails and my fingers to mold it out. Pinch it maybe a little bit in different areas to make the petals a little bit thinner. Sorry. And that's the rose. You can see through it, and that's okay, because when I put my pieces down onto my canvas that I've already painted and sculpted on, I want the colors that are underneath here to be able, so that you can still see them. Forget what I'm trying to say. So you can still see them. And that's it. I got these ones all done. I made those earlier. I actually did a little video earlier showing you sort of how I was doing. It was just a speed up video. And so that's how they turned out. They're 275 degrees for 15 minutes. And it works really, really well. Anyway, and so now I've got more that I'm going to put in. So this piece is actually an interesting kind of a thing that I did. It's so what I did was I took, I don't want this to be too long. I took this, the clay, and I rolled up the ball. And because this is textured, this has got polymer clay on it as well. Well, it's a acrylic modeling paste is what I put on the canvas itself. And so I just roll it in a ball, flatten it out like that. I hope you can see. Yeah. I just flatten it out on top. And then I just carefully kind of peel it back. Now you might get a little bit of clay left on your canvas, but that's okay. And then then you've got your textured leaf. And so that's what I did for this one. And now I will put them in the oven at 275 and see how it goes. Anyway, I gotta go to bed. Oh my God. It's hard to go to bed because this is really the only time that I get to do my magic. Magic to me. It's really great therapy. I think that's why I like using my hands, and I love acrylic pouring and resin and stuff like that, because, well, not so much with resin, but with acrylic pouring, it's just like so hands-on, right? And you don't need to, I don't wear gloves when I do acrylic pouring. I've got my hands right in the middle of that paint, and it feels so good. It really does. I did a farmer's market last summer, and I had so much fun at it. I doubt that it will be going on this summer. So here's another piece right there. All it does is it gives the lines, right? And then you can mold it to other things. So, I mean, a lot of people will, you purchase different things to make shapes and stuff on it. Really, you can mold it yourself. Everybody is sound asleep. I don't even know what time it is. I gotta go turn the baby's feet on. I'll be right back. There we go. Makes for a happy baby. She's sound asleep. It's a good place to be. So yeah, it's as simple as that, really. So I'm just going to make a couple more leaves, a couple more petals, and then put it together, show you how I did that, and then I think I'll call it a night. It's kind of fun. Anyway, like I was saying, for me, it's hands-on, and it's great therapy for me. If you watched any of my earlier, a few of my earlier videos, I kind of went into more detail about who I am and where I'm from. And so I am, just say it because you don't need to look back on those videos. I am turning 55 next week. And I am a retired nurse. I had to retire because of an assault, and I'm sure years and years of nursing did something, and eventually I think it just stockpiled, and when I was assaulted, it was the icing on the cake, so to say. So I have PTSD, and I find that doing this kind of thing is very helpful for me. It takes my mind off of everything else that's going on in my life. And I don't sleep that well at night anyway, so this is a great thing to be doing. I used to paint years ago I took painting lessons from Eve Carpenter out in Victoria, British Columbia years ago. I think I was 12 years old then. She was a great artist. I used to sit out back in her garden after the art lesson, and she'd give me a glass of buttermilk and cookies. And I was so polite that I swallowed down the buttermilk. I hated it so much, but I was brought up well. You got it. Thank you very much. Put it in your mouth. Anyway, so this is one of the petals here, and I'm just going to kind of fold it around like that. Just make whatever shape you think that you want the flower to look like. And I think I'd like to have that piece kind of on top like that. And at the same time, you got to squeeze it kind of together down there. And I see this is kind of, there we go. Just squeeze it down there so that it holds together. You don't have to squeeze it hard at all. And then you just place the petals where you want them. Whatever looks right to you. And so that is how I have made some of my flowers. Yeah. It's pretty. It'll be nice when it's baked, and then I take them and I'm just squeezing the end of it off because it kind of builds up in there. And the clay bakes better when it's thinner, of course. So, and then I'm just kind of going around on it and stretching it out of it, giving it a little bit more depth, shape. So I'm just kind of folding the petals up a little bit on this side. And then I'm going to take that and kind of go down like that on it because I see where it's kind of thin. Just like that. Then I'm going to separate that one a little bit and just gently fold the petal under. I think that's pretty good, according to me. This, it needs more of a center, so that's what I'm trying to do right now. I know you can't see it, I'm sorry. Anyway, it needs more of a center there. I think I'm happier with that. Then I just take the leftover stuff that I pulled off the bottom, and that's how I made some of the other ones, with just little sort of, pollen, where the pollen is, where the hummingbirds go to get their water, and where the bumblebees go to get the pollen and do their magic in the world. It's what you feel, and my thought is that you can really go above and beyond what you think you can, because if you don't like what you've got, then you simply roll it up in a ball and start again. That's what you do. And so, having said that, I am going to go to bed. I'll make another one like that tomorrow. I know I can do it. It's so easy. And this stuff, geez, you don't even need to wrap it up. You can leave it out in the cold air. It's perfectly fine. Not the cold air. I wouldn't put it outside. There are the flowers that I made tonight. Well, some of them. And I think I should probably put them in the oven now, because I worry if I leave it overnight. Once you've molded it and got it into a shape, it's really important to then take it and bake it, because my experience has been the next day I come out, and because you've handled it and you've put it into a shape or something, it becomes brittle. It dries out a little bit when it's left out overnight in smaller shapes like that. So don't do that. I'm going to put it in the oven at 275 for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to. So, sorry, it's kind of high. Linking art. I don't have my glasses on. See, I didn't even see that. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. Linking art. Hi. It's not very long tonight because I gotta get some sleep. It's late and I gotta get up in another hour to turn some machines off, and then get up 3 hours after that and turn some more machines on, because that's what we do here. I love playing with clay. All right, one more thing. I made some more buttons tonight. These are the ones that I made last night. I don't know if you can see it very well. Anyway, and so tonight I made some more. I just put those in the oven a while ago, and they're all baked up. I'll paint them. And then I decided, let's try some other shapes. I've got some friends out west. My friend is making me he's knitting me a beautiful knee-length coat with a Red Riding Hood on it, and so I sent him some pictures of these last night because they're buttons, and I thought, well, maybe he'd like some of them, so I'm going to send some out to him. And then I talked to my stepmom last night as well, and And I said I'd send her some too, and she said that's great. So that's what I'm doing. Apparently, it's cool to have custom made buttons. It's just something that I thought would be fun to do because I do some knitting as well, and I've made some shawls, and I just thought it'd be nice to it like they're not usable buttons. They're decorative. Yeah, that's what they are. Definitely decorative. There's another button right there. That's a scary one. All right, I'm gonna go now. Be nice to each other. Thanks.